Hello, welcome to Let's Talk Real Estate and Stuff. How's it going? Happy October. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm wearing a Halloween shirt because it's laundry day, and I was like, hey, I can finally wear this shirt that's in the closet that I don't wear all year round. But welcome to October, folks. How's it going? Q4 is here.
Q4 is here. Good. Home for the month. No travel. Life is good.
You get to enjoy the weather as it finally comes to Florida, and we walk outside and don't want to die.
It has been nice lately.
It has been nice. It's gonna be like a high of 78 this early next week. At least here in Gainesville.
I checked our subscribers. We're over 100 at this point. Where our new goal should be to aim towards that 250 number. So please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Subscribe.
As we try to get up. Hopefully you enjoy our witty banter and our insightful knowledge of real estate and SaaS products of real estate
and the weather. Like that's why people show up for these things, right?
Yeah. Let's talk real estate and SaaS. That kind of has a nice ring to it.
Yeah.
That is a nice
and stuff, and the S in stuff stands for SaaS.
What have you guys been up to this week?
Man, I have been putting together my stuff for the mobile home park purchase.
Yeah.
And with that, I have to put together like this. It's an investment packet, like an ON, like an offering memorandum and stuff. And usually on it, it's very professional company
Hold on,
logo.
is this to get investors into
to raise
syndication?
money?
Okay, not to buy. You're not handing this to the.
Well, no, it'll get to that, but yeah, eventually. So anyway, you got to put photos in a bio and stuff. And like, listen, I don't have any. I don't take photos of myself.
Right.
Neither does my wife. We're not selfie takers. And it's not like we hire a professional photographer. And generally, I am not in what I would call peak Brandon condition. So I was like, how could I blend? How can I get photos done when I don't want to hire somebody to take photos of me? I don't really want to go to all these different places, and I don't even feel like how I look right now and how I want to be represented as I'm getting back into shape. And so we had, what was his name? Brent Moreno or whatever on our episode. And we talked about AI generally. And I was like, I bet you there's an AI product out there that could take me and give me headshots. So that's what we've been doing this week. We've been playing around with some apps. It's actually quite funny. So the idea of this is to get professional headshots for your business, for your LinkedIn page, your Instagram, your Facebook. We're necessarily for a fraction of the price. So we use 3 different sites. StudioShot.ai was one of them. They were $19 for headshots. Then Snapper.ai, they were $29, and I might be getting the pricing mixed up, but $29. So very, very cheap. And then there was an app on the phone which I had tracked previously and kind of saved in the back of my mind called Remini, Remini. And that one is free trial for a week, $9.99 every week thereafter, but it's infinite. You're just like, me and my wife at night when we're laying on the couch, we're like uploading photos and seeing versions of ourselves and doing different things, and it's just like, that doesn't look like you. Like last night it was spitting out images of her from like when she was in her 20s, and I didn't know her back then. She goes, that's what I look like when I was like 20 years old. And it's like, so it's quite fun to do, but we have come up with some headshots that we like to put on our professional documents, update my LinkedIn page now that we're really trying to raise money. And then also provide on when we're like, I have a bio I sent to sellers for seller finance, stuff like that, being able to add it onto that, getting a little more professional without having to necessarily do a full on photo shoot. So that's the story.
So how do these things work? So you have to take, I briefly remember hearing about something like this, and it's like you take 10 photos of yourself in different angles, and then the AI can combine that and then make its own pictures.
Yeah, and it's really keyed on the photos that you upload. So
Okay.
like, and again, me and my wife didn't really have a lot of photos. She and the reason why I was spitting out photos from her 20s was the photos she had of herself
Mhm.
was when she was in her younger days, like when she was earlier 30s and stuff. And I didn't have a lot of photos of me, so I took some of me now. Like she took some just photos of me standing at my desk. Then I found some in my camera roll, and like some old marketing ones when I posted to Instagram a lot. And you combine all those, and it's heavily weighted to what you put in there. Like it doesn't take a lot of leeway from it. But the problem,
Mhm.
I think the age of like I took some from when I was 30, some when I'm 38, 30, and it's like, wait a second, is this the same?
Same part.
I think that had I had been like a real social type of person where I'm snapping photos and posting
Yeah.
all year and I just grab a bunch of those, I think it would have been a lot more accurate, but I think because I didn't have that, it was a little more difficult. So maybe for somebody who takes photos all the time of themselves, it'd be
Mhm.
if I have photos of me and my kids and you can't have that, it's just got to be you.
Okay.
So anyway, I was going to share some of these with you guys and
I absolutely want to see them because I'm curious, like just the whole process. Like,
Please
do you
do.
tell it? Like, do you prompt it? I would like this picture back, or
So
is it
so
just
yes
give
and
you?
no. So StudioShot.ai and Snapper.ai strictly are upload, and I'm looking right now. I think this one is like upload 12 photos. The other one's upload like 20 photos. You know what I mean? And you upload those, and it's just like, here's your fucking business. Like
Okay.
Studio Shot is here's your headshot. That's it.
Okay.
Snapper is like, pick what type of background you want, what style you want, and that's what we'll give you. So I went with
Okay.
the business casual with that one. Studio Shot was all suits, and then the Rimini one is effing cool, dude. Like I recommend everybody getting it because I was playing around with that one. It can do casual, vacations, business. It can do, like all kinds of different stuff in front of cars, like all different cool scenarios
Interesting.
that you might, which could pose some real issues for like the guru world. And we'll see. Like there's a guru Brandon I want to show you guys that like
I can't wait.
I might start selling a course based on this photo alone.
Are you screen sharing right now, or are you
I'm
just
about
slacking
to
them
screen.
over?
I'm
Yeah.
right
He's
now
just building this moment
I'm
up. I
building
just
Yes, good.
this momentum up for what I'm about to show you. So, okay, let's see the entire screen. We're going to share this whole screen over here. So what you're seeing here, don't make fun of me. These are the photos that I gave it. I'm going to click away real quick. I don't want a lot of people staring at this for too long. This is embarrassing. These are the photos I gave it. My wife took them super fast. This is what it gave me. None
Oh,
of
man.
them look like me. They turned me into like a stripper model. I don't know what they did. I must have had some type of cheekbone and nose job between the time I gave it photos
Yeah,
and when it gave it back.
They gave you almost like a Latin pop star
Yeah,
vibe to you.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yes.
Like, so this one I didn't like it. Like my wife's too came back all butchered. Like it looked nothing like her. So this one I didn't recommend. Like I felt like this one was just so far off.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
bottom left for quick feedback. The bottom left, I think, is the only one that doesn't look like you. I feel like all
Okay.
the other ones look like you.
I can
Okay.
see you in there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not completely you.
So now
But
we come to Studio Shot Dead AI, which I like some of them, but it's really hard to determine which ones are what. So let me open one up here. So I'll go kind of quick. We're not going to go slow through each one of these, but like you could kind of see how some of them don't look anything like me. Like that one, I don't know what it did to my forehead.
That one looks like a solid young. That one looks. I like
Yeah.
that one.
That one, I don't know what it did to my eyes. Like it gave me bags under my eyes. Like
Yeah.
some of these just don't look anything like me, and you could see each one is slightly different.
yeah, it's interesting that they're not all the same. It's not like not exactly the same model every time, which I guess works to its advantage of a piece of software. It's like we know it's not gonna be perfect, so we're gonna variate it every time.
Like what the fuck is this? Can we measure the distance from the top of my head to
Look
my
like an
eyes here?
egghead.
Like, do I have a huge cranium here? Like, what's going on?
There's just a bunch of knowledge up there.
What
Real
I want to
estate
do
knowledge.
is I want to show Carlos's favorite photo that he's been making fun of me on.
Not
Here's
at all. I'm loving it.
the only one that I truly like is my Steve Jobs one. Because this one has a little bit of sass in it. Where I'm just like, hey, I'm
That
a
one is
software
literally
tech.
just
This
amazing.
is hands down the best one that I think I'm actually going to use, because not only is it humorous, but look at the smirk I have on there. It's just like this FU type of like, yeah, dude. And I'm looking
Dude,
back
that's
over my shoulder.
dude, that
Oh my
is now
God.
that I've seen now because all things in life are relative. Now that I've seen the rest of the portfolio, you could raise money. You could persuade someone to give you money just from this picture.
This
Like if
picture.
they see this, like they're gonna take a look at like the term sheets, like
Yeah,
what
yeah, yeah.
percentage
This
preferred, everything
photo.
like that. And then they look at the picture, they're like, oh my god, this guy is like, I'm sold on this.
This guy needs. I'm giving him my money. Okay,
Yeah.
now if you thought these were good, I like this one. And like, so I had my daughter, my mom, my wife. They all gathered around and like we went through the photos. And there's a couple that we picked out that could be respectively used for my whatchamacallit. And the website, just to speak to the website, it does give you a chance to go back and to like enhance, edit, whatever you want. So there's a feature for that. But I again blame this more on the photos that I gave it than on its product. Snapper AI was way off, but this one was very close and it really tried. I think if I gave it better photos, I could have had a better job done with it. But I liked it. I got what I needed out of it, and I will be using this one 100% using this photo. I think it's humorous and I love it. Now let's go into the ones that I love. Now the ones from Remini, the app that is $9.99 a week with a free trial, REMINI, produce some of the best photos of me that almost made me ashamed of who I am today, to say, holy fuck, that could be me
Yeah.
if I was just in a different life.
Papa P, before we pop over there, I would say like that one's hilarious just from like the smirk and the face that you're doing, and like a little Steve Jobs-esque with the turtleneck. But also, I do like it as the best one because this one just looks the most like you out of all the ones that you
I
showed
thought
on
this
this
one
first
looked
platform.
like me too.
Like that looks like it'd actually be you, and you are doing like a hell of a smirk.
When I write a book, this is going on the
No, million
That is
percent.
totally an author.
That's like
Author snapshot.
like when you open the first page.
That's
there's
me.
I forget what it's called. Yeah, like that's the picture, and it's like Brandon Pedersen is a XYZ 100%.
He likes long walks on the beach. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Okay, now let's do this. Now here's Brandon in another setting. So this one I thought was very accurate, like to what I look like. So there's Brandon casually at the lake. I'm just leaning and I'm like, hey,
guns.
like, oh, look how jacked I look. Like this made me want, like today I was doing biceps in the gym, thinking about this photo and how I could be this jacked if I worked harder. Casual Brandon at his lake house in North Carolina, John. That's the Smoky Mountains.
So this is all from the cell phone app, and does the cell phone app make you take pictures of yourself to get started, or is it?
It's the same thing. You
just
upload whatever selfies. So my wife did it first, and she didn't like the photos. It did not look. It made her look horrible. She didn't like it. She went back, uploaded more better photos of herself that could view her face and her facial expressions. Nailed her spot on. So it really has to do with the photos that you give it, and then you go through and pick. Like this one, I wanted casual by the lake, and so it gave me casual by the lake.
So you got to say, "Give me casual by the lake," and it gave you these pictures back.
So like it's hard to show you. They give you categories and then a photo example, and so in the category casual, there was a guy by a lake. I picked that.
All chat GPT prompting. Yeah, makes sense.
So like, look at me, man. Like I'm jacked. I'm smiling. I'm looking good. This one, my daughter says I look like an 80-year-old anorexic.
Yes, you do. That's something weird about that posture there.
That's me right there.
They tried to make that one look a little bit more like
natural. But I'm happy. I'm happy because of all the money I make from raising all these syndication funds.
Oh yeah,
it has bought me a lake house, and I'm just smiling right now. So again, like, look at this. Look how jacked my shoulders are in this one, guys. Like, so the most flattering one to date is the Remini one, and that's why I kept this one because of the fucking hair, bro. Like, what the?
This guy means fucking business.
Like,
what's happening? Poppy right there.
Lock your money up, guys, because I'm coming. I'm
The
coming.
face
for your
is so
fucking
thick
money.
too.
It looks like you need the money to finish your hair transplant.
Yeah.
No,
I'm up in New
this
York
version
City.
of this version of Brandon also has not had a carb in like 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Are you
One
ready?
looks solid.
Are you ready?
The
for
suit
Guru,
almost
Brandon?
looks more. The suit almost looks more like fake than the
Yeah.
face.
There's some stuff like when we get to the next couple of photos, I'll point some stuff out to you where you know it's
Dude,
AI.
it's so funny.
But guys, just to let you know, when I show you this next photo or a couple photos, it's going to be released with my new wholesaling course on how to make $1 million in 3 days.
Love it.
Dude,
Dude, that actually looks realistic though.
But look at the double cars. See how they messed up the cars
Yeah,
behind
I
it?
messed up the car.
Yeah, and then if you zoom in and you start noticing things on my hands, you know what I
Oh
mean? Like
yeah,
the
that's
way-
weird.
Yeah.
look like
You look like you have hands like Bane or like some type of like creature. That
There
was
you
pretty
go.
sick.
That's
That
it.
is your
That's it.
wholesaling coaching course.
That's my coaching course right there. But look at
No,
the
that's a
cars in
good
the
one.
background going in different directions. You can see the cars, and then like look at the watch. You know what I mean? You could see like they kind of messed up on it.
Mm-hmm.
This is what is
And
going to happen. Like
I
now
have
that we,
look at I have
I
6
want-
fingers.
I want. Oh yeah! Oh my god! I want these of John. John, we might have to do.
I will do some for sure.
Bro,
This will
you
be
got
fun.
to. Like this is it, man. You could have your team do it too. You can like the one company, I think it was Studio Shots, allows you to set up a team photo shoot where you can have other people join in your company
Okay,
profile.
that's pretty cool.
So there's this. So again, like I'm just money bags right here, just making boatloads of
hilarious.
money. But so I thought it was
go
funny.
back. That one's funny. You're about to start jogging. What's going on with your jacket there on the left?
Yeah, it's like a double-breasted jacket of some double. I don't know.
That's weird.
But I think there's some issues, like bro, like AI, like as it gets better, and like the more you train it to be like you, like it's gonna be hard to tell the difference between was I really in this suit standing in front of this car, like is that really me or is it AI?
Yeah.
Well, this made me think, like we were talking about those 12-year-olds at the wholesaling conferences.
Yeah.
Like they could just do this and then be like,
They can
want to
make
be a
themselves
12-year-old
look-
that makes money.
They can make themselves look older too. Like there's different
Yeah,
things depending
really?
on how you train it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. These look pretty solid, like you though.
Yeah,
Like
these ones.
This portfolio you're showing, or this folder,
It's
that
so-
looks like 5P.
So you see how it gave me these different, and I think that's pretty much it, guys. Like you get the idea.
I'm pretty impressed with this technology,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah. And then this one, I sent this to my daughter. She goes, "Are you running for president?"
That's
go,
a solid
maybe.
one. Yeah, you need like a USA pin, and that would be a presidential one.
Yeah, like this
God.
is it, dude. Like, so I think all of these generally do look like me, and I think I could use these for LinkedIn. You could use these
Yeah,
for a
those are
lot of
sick.
things. And unless you're really looking for like the issues in like the details, you wouldn't
Yeah.
know that it was AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are sick. The second to last one there looked sick.
Yeah, I mean, so the Rimini one is more fun too. I recommend like it's something like you could do with your wife or like me and my wife. We've had a blast the last couple nights just like loading photos in and seeing what we look like in various scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, how do you tell what's real or not? Like, could you imagine
Exactly.
like
That's the scary
dating
part.
in today's age and like even like trusting somebody and like you're investing with them and you just look at a photo and you're thinking it's real and then you go meet them in real life and it's like it's them but it's not
Mhm.
them.
Oh no, that's 100% thing.
Like major catfishing. Like I could
Major
load these
catfishing.
photos and you would think Brandon's traveling the world, he's on top of buildings, he's got flashy cars. Nah, bro, I got a computer.
Dude,
Yeah.
I was kind of exposed to it, or learning more about how deep that rabbit hole goes. Not AI. Maybe some people are using AI in like their Instagram or dating profiles or whatever, but
I'm sure
I kind of
they are,
exposed to
dude.
it from a girl. But a girl showed me, my friend's girlfriend showed me an app that girls use, and they all touch up just their Instagram picture. So it's almost like the AI, but you're making
That's
it more generous. Like Brandon's guys, like vascularity, like
Yeah.
that dude had like veins just ripping out of his arms. That's
so
what people
the
do.
Remini one does that. You could upload an existing photo and add filters, enhance, blemishes. So it is a more robust, like self-controlling feature. Not only does it give you like scenarios, like I could just keep popping, and you swipe right or left like a dating profile, and it just like it keeps going with photos, and you get to decide which ones you like. I don't know what that is, but
Doctor,
That's
look at a
crazy.
doctor.
I'm gonna try
So-
this out.
I know you should do the week trial. Just don't forget to delete it at the end of the week, and you're getting billed $10
Yeah.
for using it for a week. But I think it's cool, man.
Crazy.
Like I will be legit using these photos, whether they're fake or not. Like I think it's a great way to get myself going on like updating my LinkedIn, doing all that as I focus on everything else.
Yeah.
I love
It's
it.
it brings up like an interesting ethical like question, right? And like we just talked about examples where people could very much use it unethically. I don't think the way that you're planning to use it is unethical at all. And I think you're right. Like it gives you the ability to focus on what's important. Like this is enough you could do this. Like if you wanted to, you could spend the time to rent a car, go do those and do an actual photo shoot, but like it saves you all that time and gives you what you need. It's interesting
There's
like
ethics.
how AI is going to go forward, and it's like, is it real? Is it not? Like,
Did you
it
ever
baffles me.
watch Battlestar Galactica or Caprica?
I've not seen all of it. I know enough about it.
So like Caprica is kind of like after Battlestar Galactica, if I'm not mistaken, and like so his daughter dies, and he takes they don't say it, but takes his special software and he kind of creates an online AI version it's almost like a trainer, taking all of the things she's done on the internet, all of the recordings they have of her, and basically recreated his daughter. And the whole thing is about these like a robot type of thing, human realistic. And he was able to imprint her personality into this because the training. And so I'm using AI trainers as like some similarity between that. And it's the same thing. If I had AI train every day on me, in all my facial expressions. And this came close with only 20 photos.
Right.
These softwares aren't robust enough to give us the power to do it, at least these consumer-facing versions of it.
Yeah.
But if I said, here's my Instagram, here's my camera roll, here's my video camera and all my zooms, and just watch me for a year.
Yeah.
You don't think this thing could make fucking videos of me and just
Oh, I
be
know
like
it could.
realistic deep fakes?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. And that's what I was thinking of when I was doing this. I was like, man, like that Caprica Battlestar Galactica, like that is, I could see that happening where next thing you know, you're taking my voice, you're taking all these things, you're training it, and you could potentially create clones, like AI clones of yourself with your exact personality. Take my search history, take the way I type on my phone, the way I say words.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a solid hypothesis that has been talked about before. Like in the short future, there's going to be an era of like deep fakes or like proving if it's real.
Yeah, and the verified check mark is going to happen on actual photos now. And the ethics of it, like if I went and said, here's a photo of me and didn't do anything else, that's not unethical. But if I said, here's me at my lake house,
right.
Now that becomes unethical. Here's me with my car. Here's how I made $1 million. Here's how I bought this car. And it's AI. That's where that unethical piece. And I know there's probably people out there that would blur that line and even maybe gray it by without saying it, making you think it.
Right.
And that's where I think it's like where people could be. And you see it and you're like, man, he looks like it looked like I had money. Like, holy shit, dude. Like, that guy looks extremely successful. Wow, he's got a fancy car. And Jack. Like, I had muscle, but, like, that was like, bro, what are you...
They didn't put... I guess you didn't have a lot of... That would have been cool if they kept in the tattoos. That's another thing I noticed. For the short sleeve ones, you didn't have any ink on there.
If I showed you the ones... I didn't save them. The ones where it did try to mimic my tattoo, it turned them into tribal tattoos because it didn't know what they were. So I just had, like, the it was just...
AI is like, put in masculine male tattoos here.
Yeah. It was like Samoan tribal tattoos from Maui or something, like just throwing them on me.
Just like The Rock, huh?
Yeah. And so I didn't save any of those, but I don't know. I thought it was fun. Definitely cool. Got what we needed out of it. So we got some photos of my wife, of me, boom. and
I will
roll.
try that out. I need a new headshot. I have a friend who is a really good headshot photographer, and to your credit, like he keeps saying, "Come, I'll do a session for you for free," and I'm like, I'm not in, John shape that wants to,
Yeah, I'm
go
not.
sit in
I'm
front
not
of the
happy
camera
with
right now.
myself right now. Like I am
Yeah.
working extremely hard on my diet and my running, and my
Yeah.
exercising, and
I
I'm
feel the
really
same
trying to get
way.
back into it. But like, and that's where I came to this conclusion. Like, how do I get
Mhm.
me, but the version of me that I
Mhm.
perceive me at? And that also might blur some boundaries of like reality there, because I am lying to myself. Like, bro, I'm not that jacked. Like, but guess what? When you see me on Instagram, I look that jacked because I'll be posting
I
that
will
photo.
try it out, and I'll see what it has, and I'll report
wanna
back next
see-
week.
I want to see.
Carlos, he just gets to go to
Yeah.
Family Mastermind and gets a new
Yeah.
headshot every time that he goes.
Yeah.
So his
Oh,
headshot's
do you?
updated every
That
year.
Every the last 2 family masterminds I did, I don't think I had a headshot for a few years before that. But that was Alex Shaw's company. Shout out to Alex Shaw,
Okay.
longtime investor Fuse guy, and Jorge in Fort Lauderdale here.
They do
hopefully shooting
headshots?
some content with some. So his guy Jay Jorge,
Okay.
he came from a headshot. He's the guy that was selling me on the MacBook Air instead of
Okay.
getting a Pro. He's actually a big like tech and SaaS guy. Actually, he's got an interesting background.
Just get a PC, but yeah, I got you.
Okay, PC.
Just get a PC.
For the rest of your life.
But yeah, they're cool. They do content here. May see them tonight at an event. But yeah, those AI pictures are absolutely hilarious. But it's super cool. And I was saying too that it's interesting because when I first learned about that, more so the editing of what goes on Instagram, and maybe it goes on for guys. I think in general, like aside from the AI stuff,
I bet it does.
I don't know how much it is for the guys, but I asked a girl posting, and this is probably more in the context of like dating, like putting yourself out there versus business, even though maybe it's partially business. And I asked her, I was like, what % of girls do you think like edit their photos like significant? She's like, oh, at least like 95. She was like, if there's girls that like don't touch up, because you can touch up like so many little things, like take like pimples or like another term for pimples.
It's
or
not
like,
just that, dude. But
you
then
can smooth
even
stuff
when you
out
meet them,
or-
the makeup and everything. When you meet a guy, you see what the guy is. The guy is the guy. With girls, I've seen some scary videos on Instagram where some hideous looking women, by the time they're done with the makeup and the contouring and the hair click-ons and the eyebrows and I'm like, and they use these things that lift their face for the wrinkles, and like it's like an older person, but then she looks like she's 35 instead of like 60, and it's like, what? How do you trust anything nowadays? So yeah, Carlos, I agree with you. I think a lot of those. So watch out, dude. As the only single person on this podcast, good luck, my brother. May the force be with you. Stay strong. Stay strong. Do your due diligence. Do your due diligence.
Definitely, well, I appreciate that.
He's a FaceTimer, so you can't have.
I am. That is my qualification. Like, and I like meeting people in person, ideally, which is nice. But anybody that I've met, like before meeting up in person, definitely got to qualify over FaceTime, just to make sure it's like they look like they're portraying.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been so long, but yeah. Good luck, dude. I mean, it's just whatever. Anyway, that was that. I appreciate you guys indulging me as I went down that rabbit hole and showed you what I've been doing this week.
Absolutely. I had an interesting week this week. I don't know how much of this I can share, so I'm going to omit names. But I think I could say the company. So I had a call about leaddetector.io. I have an IF3 customer who is wants to start using leaddetector.io, and they want to put those leads into IF3. So I was on the phone call and got to hear some information about a little bit how it works and what's going on. So leaddetector.io, what it basically does is it looks at the traffic to your website and can find, and the number that was told to me, 25% of the non-converted traffic. So the traffic that does not submit a form, it can find 25%, like find email addresses, contact information.
Yeah.
For 25% of them.
Cool. I'm on their website now. This is cool.
So for this person who's getting it on their website, like they get a lot of traffic to their website, that's 1,800 additional leads a month.
Fuck.
My God.
So they take that and the lead detector puts it through a system where like they get the email and they get emails for 95% of them, and of those 95% of the emails, 99% of them are deliverable. And then they skip trace it and to pull in phone numbers, and they get about 80% accuracy there. So lead detector.
Yeah.
.io, like, and what they've found out through the whole process of them, I don't know how long they've been around, not super long, but since they've been around and people have been using it, what they're finding is like 1,800 additional leads is great, but they're not super qualified. They're not the best leads. They didn't submit their form, so whether they're like
they're better than cold calling.
They're better than cold callers, right? But so they're like this in this middle, and what they were finding is that teams were really excited about this, and they were getting burnt out on calling these people because it was kind of like cold calling, like cold outreach to these people. And their teams were expecting these would be like, oh, these are PPC leads. They're not PPC leads. They are better than cold call leads, but they're not PPC leads, and they're in the middle. And so he's built this whole new system to qualify them, and I think he's using Go High Level to do it in ChatGPT. So he's doing texting, emailing, direct mail, Facebook ad retargeting, and RVMs through a 30-day sequence inside of this product. I think it's called Rocketly. And so he goes through and validates everything, like make sure that the phone numbers are cell phones, only sends to them, A2P 10DLC compliant. And so of the leads that they convert off the website through the Rocketly system, they'll take 10 to 15% of those, and they'll convert them to what they call engaged leads, somebody that responded, and then more on the 10% end is the qualified lead ratio. So about, in this case, 180 leads will get pushed into the CRM that were never there before, that are ready to have a conversation.
So another, let's just say double the regular PPC. I mean, so you're talking like, let's just go to 30. Let's say you're converting 30, so another 6 deals a month.
Yeah. Pretty good, right? Pretty intriguing. I don't know of many. I personally don't know of anybody using this system yet. I'm about to try it out and closely monitor the system. But
I might need some of this action.
Yeah, I'm having lots of conversations around this because it's really intriguing, and it seems like a no-brainer if you're doing pay-per-click. This should be a no-brainer kind of system because it's going to essentially adjust your cost per click. And so I started having some conversations, and the lead detector system can pull in UTM parameters, so you could track back even the leads that the lead detector is pulling in back to your pay-per-click ads, and then get a even better cost per click because you're essentially cold outreaching those that aren't converting over on the form. So really interesting tech.
It is.
Note to editor, please blur and bleep out the name of this website so not everybody uses it. Let's blurb that out so we can keep this top secret. Leaddetector.io. But yeah, I mean, no, that sounds pretty cool, man. Like that's where things are going now. I would caution, if you're, and I only know this because as I'm trying to do more PPC, right, and I'm doing the PPL right now, and I want to just do PPC. The burnout is real, guys. Like, now I am trained on burnout. Like, we have been hustling cold calls forever, and it burns you out. That when you're the difference, and I don't care the quality of the phone call, their attitude is just so different. PPC are like, I'm like, hey, you filled out a form on www.cashoffer.com? Oh yeah, I did. Thanks for calling. And you're like, awesome, let's talk. Hey, you spoke to someone in my office the other day, and you said you wanted to sell. I didn't say that. You called me. I said, you called me. You can have one of your people call me back with an offer. There's a huge difference, right? And so it's not that you can't convert those, but you have to like combat that initial hate.
Oh yeah.
Kind of transition it and get back on equal ground with the PPC leads. are just so different. And then this, you got all your agents so used to just the butter, just picking up the phone, people saying, yes, I'm ready to talk to you. And now you switch those people who maybe never had that type of burnout before. And then especially if it messes up their close ratio that they're used to, and they're like, man, I'm wasting my time on these leads, and I'm closing like 1 out of every 6 or 10 on these,
Yeah.
and now you got me doing 1 out of every 30. That means 29 people are telling me to fuck off in a day. Now, a cold caller would be like, bro, only 29 people are telling you to fuck off? I got told fuck off by 79 people to get my 1 yesterday. That's not bad. So it's all perception, right? But that'd be the only
Completely
thing that I
different
could see when using this that could be really hard on a team is going, especially if they're only inbound leads, like going from an inbound to then mixing an outbound, like people could be disappointed and burn out.
Ethics wise, what do you guys think ethics wise of like lead detector? Unless
Nothing.
I'm missing something.
Bro,
This
is nothing new. This is nothing new. It is for our industry, but have you ever not stopped buying something midstream online?
So
I get tracked.
Here's the thing. So it's really interesting. After having that phone call, I went down a rabbit hole of like going and looking at some tech that can power something like this. Because you know me and my SaaS. I'm like, how can I make something similar? So I went to this website that does this, right? And so about an hour after I went to the website, I got an email. And so, hey, John, sorry for the cold email. I'm the co-founder of a company that identifies anonymous website visitors by name in an email. Would that data help your marketing team? If so, I'd be happy to tell you more about our platform. Like, what an amazing, like, I'm just jealous from a SaaS product standpoint, like how fucking cool that is.
Yeah.
Like, I went and looked at this like tool, and he sent me an email. It's like proof of concept right there. But I don't think it's that big of a deal, honestly.
No, products do it. B2C sales, it's all the time. I don't give you my email. Somehow you find me I'm assuming from my IP or from some Facebook thing because I took a link, and then all of a sudden I'm getting, hey, you never checked out with that pair of pants. Are you sure you don't want those like 32 larges or whatever? You sure you don't want that new pair of shoes? You just clicked 3 times on my photo. I'm pretty sure you want them. We'll offer you a discount if you come back to our website. I've been getting that for that's not new years, technology. I've been getting that for years. I just think that now it's being applied to real estate and other type of, I'm not going to say service based, but whatever type of base companies. But it's just being applied to a different industry.
Yeah, I mean, I think coaching programs as well, just like any other types of industry, like that you're going to a site and you're looking for information and then they gather it. You'll be intriguing. I did look at some of the legal there. It is a gray area of business to consumer. B2B is not a gray area. B2C is a bit of a gray area, and it's like, how much is this going to work for the consumer? So it'd be intriguing to. I'm excited to see it work.
I think it's to be expected. I think it's nothing that we're not used to. I think our privacy, to anyone who thinks we have any type of privacy, I think that's ignorance. And so I think under that premise, I think to assume privacy is ignorant. So therefore, I don't think this at all is invasive compared to what else is going on from Facebook and anything else. And listen, like, whatever. I could go on a whole tangent with this, but I think this is cool, man. Like, I think this definitely, people need to go. I know we bleeped out the name leaddetector.io, but people need to go to that website for leaddetector.io and we're not getting affiliate. I know I'm saying the name over and over. People are like, are they getting paid for this? We're not. No. But I think it's cool, and I might want to hook this up in my stuff. But
his whatever his qualification system, I couldn't find any information of that online. I don't know if that is something new that he'll eventually start rolling out, if it's completely separate from leaddetector.io. But I mean, it's interesting. Like, he's marketing leaddetector.io not only to just real estate, but to other services and industries.
There's a whole group on here if you go to their website. I think it's funny going into what we were talking about, or what I was talking about. I think this is more important than ever, because as the market, like we've been talking about this for weeks, but as the market's declining, it's like more and more people now, I think, are going to be reaching out to try to sell before things decline. And a
Yeah,
lot
that's a
of
good
these
point.
people might be very cold feet type of thing. I'm having problems, and I want to read these websites to see what they have to offer, but I'm not ready to click the button yet. I'm a little embarrassed for my
Mhm.
financial dire straits that I'm in. And listen, like for anyone who's been back out on bills, you always think it's going to be another month. You always think you're going to have time. You're too embarrassed to admit it. And this will enable that type of lead to get contacted prior
Hmm.
to them filling out the form. Because if you've been in this business long enough, bro, like you know
Is
that
that
a
the
lot of
essence?
these people, they wait until
Yeah,
literally the
the last
last
minute.
letter that they get, and then they're like, oh shit, my hearing's on Monday. I better hurry up before I lose my house. Let me make some money. And they're like, can you buy my house by Monday? So I I think that'll be good as we're going into this, man. I made that post yesterday. I know John's not on Instagram, but I know Carlos saw it. Pretty sure you liked it. Thanks, bro. I appreciate your engagement.
Appreciate you.
But like I get all day long, and I got more on my phone today. Like I get alerts because I have like all of Central Florida mapped out to get sent to me. So whatever's listed, unlisted, getting pending, and I've been getting price decrease, price multifamily, single family, all sizes, all areas. I even got on my Instagram live and I showed my email because I'm on a bunch of email lists for like brokers in the commercial space. Storage units price drop, mobile home parks price drop, like just multiple deals getting price drop, apartments, and you just see it, new price reduced, lower price. And it's like how people are sitting here saying that. And that's how it all stemmed from, is somebody posted a fucking statistic post about year over year the market is not declining, it's actually increasing. And I'm like,
Hmm.
and it was a realtor, and I was like, there's a reason why realtors are posting this. They're trying to sell you something because they need
Right.
money.
Yeah.
But like prices are
Exactly.
declining, bro. The better thing to do would be to be like, and this is actually I think illegal, but to be like, prices are declining. You better sell now before you lose all your effing equity,
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if you bought high.
dude.
But yeah, no, it's I've been having conversations. I was talking with a builder on Monday, builder slash contractor, rehabber kind of person, and um, he's kind of not upset, but he's like, I waited too long. I should have built some properties and sold them like a year ago. But I kept thinking that it was going to, fall and crash
Everybody,
as faster than it has. But now it definitely seems like
yeah,
something's
you
on the
waited.
horizon.
Yeah, and then you're like, shit, man, I should have done it. And now you're like wishing you could do it, but like now you've waited too long, and you're like on the teetering edge, and
Yeah. No, he
I
bought
don't
an
know.
Airstream and a new truck with the money he was going to build with. So I think he's still happy in some regard.
Yeah, I mean, Airstream's cool.
But no,
I
I
thought
think we'll see what happens. And I mean, so many people have
it's
opinions.
coming, bro.
Something's going to happen.
It's
Something's
coming,
going to
bro. It's
change.
coming. It's
Yeah.
coming. And listen, I got a lot of shit from people posting, and then I made a comment about a jab that I lost a couple followers on yesterday. I thought it was funny, and I watched my follower count decline a few, and I was like, yeah, I figured as much. But people are, and I'm not saying that you can't make money. The you, the market declines, you make money. You either buy deeper or you just scoop them all
Mhm.
up as rentals because it'd be cheaper. Or, what we used to do back in the day, and I've said it on the show before, you only take on flips that you could turn in like 3 weeks, 4 weeks,
Right.
man. You're in and out. You're doing a rehab in like 2 fucking weeks. You're doing lipstick on a pig. You're not doing these slow HGTV flips. That's not happening in this type of market. So you don't even go after those unless you're buying them at these insane discounts where you already have priced in what its
Mhm.
4-month price is going to be. Otherwise, you're in and out in 30 days. Your goal is to have it contracted within a 30 to 45, 60-day time frame. Your total hold time is 3 months in and out of this thing.
Hmm.
And you're
Yep.
not doing a 30-day flip. You're not doing a 45-day flip. You're just lipsticking this thing ideally in 2 weeks. Boom, in and out. Carpet paint. Let me get out of this thing. Let me price it cheap, make a little bit and go. I think wholesalers can make money too if they offer less. I think there's room for buy and holds. But I think that people that are stretching their numbers, so Greg Simpson had reached out to me too, and me and him kind of sit on different sides of the fence, but he was even in agreement. He's like, I've seen, not just on the brokerage side, but he's like, I get sent deals, and he's like, I've seen so many wholesalers now lowering prices where he's like, one of them sent me a deal and I was at like 140 and he wanted blah, blah, blah. And then he came back, would you take 150? And he's like, no, I'll take this. And he's like, now I'm getting it sent down at 145 and it's off the MLS. So people are grabbing these things, putting them under, can't move them, and waiting and waiting and waiting. A month goes by, they still can't. They just keep going down. And I think that shows the fault in the wholesaler. Like, you should have been able to predict the chasing of the so there's a chase in a declining market that you want to be ahead of. You don't want to be at the top of the hill. You want to be at the bottom of the hill when you buy. You already want to assume the chase, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it before. Like, hopefully this will clear out a lot of the people bringing a bad name to wholesaling and just offering deals at the wrong price. Hopefully these people will.
Yeah. And, I think Novation solves a lot of it. I was really thinking about it, and I was talking to somebody the other day about it, and we talked to Steve Trang about EMD. And I think the declining market will, but I don't think it'll stop people from putting it under, because I don't think, if I didn't go through the last recession, I don't think I would understand the chase. And that's what I call it, right? You're at 500, and trying to get it, and all of a sudden the prices go down to 475, but you're too slow to decline it. By the time you lower it to 475, the new market price is 450, and then you're like, wait, I just lowered it, and you wait 2 weeks, and then you lower it to 450, but now people are paying 425. And that was how life was in 2009, 2010. So you just had to price it aggressively. And I think people will still make that mistake. So I don't think it'll get rid of the wholesalers. But I think more people doing novations and doing double closes, really doing those types of things, I think will change it, because now you have to put money up. If you're doing a novation, bro, like, you're paying for things. You're paying for photos. You're paying for full-on inspection reports, ideally, to show that to save time. You're paying for different little mini repairs. You're going into it maybe having to shell out $3,000, $4,000 to get this thing moved, even $1,000 on photos and Matterports.
Yeah.
If you're going to make sure you got that at the right price. You're not just going to do that just because you wanted to get a contract.
Right.
AI pictures of the house.
Yeah, AI photos.
Pictures of the house, making the house look all better.
I wonder, wow. New business idea. There you go, man. But I don't know. I sent you guys a post online from Chris Rude where he lost a lawsuit for trying to wholesale in a state that doesn't allow wholesaling or whatever. And now he's got to pay a fine or whatever. I don't know the full story. He's got to pay $9,000. But he's saying slowly he believes these states are going to all go to making it illegal. And I'm okay with it. I think double closing, novations, these types of things, I think will two-part. Get rid of people, but also help us buy at another discount, because now there's not as much competition. So I think those things will be good. And if you don't know how to get money from people, you don't know how to double close or do a novation, you don't know these skill sets working with brokers. If you don't know how to work with broker and communicate in their language on their level, and you're just hustling, like, brokers aren't going to deal with that shit, dude. Like, they're not dumb. Yeah. They just don't want to work with you, no matter what listings you got.
Yeah. Agreed.
So anyway,
we will see.
We shall see. Another topic to bring up too, I don't know if you guys know AJ Osborne. He seems like he's one of the big self-storage influencers these days. But I saw an email from his team that he was randomly hosting a dinner like 10 minutes away. And because he was speaking at an IMN conference in Miami Beach. So I went over, had dinner. Two of my friends came, sat next to him for half the dinner. Super, super chill guy. I don't know his entire story. Maybe Papa P knows a little better than me, but at one point he was paralyzed and is now just like walking and fine. So I want to go back and like research this guy. But as nice as could be, a huge knowledge of wisdom on self-storage. Just talking about it the whole time. I love storage as an asset class, and he was super, super chill. Somebody asked him about mobile home parks versus storage. And he says he likes mobile home parks. But one thing that I wrote down to bring for the show is he was saying he likes mobile home parks. He was saying that someone that will do well in mobile home parks, which plays well for Prop P, is typically they would be more successful if they're more of a savvy investor for how little inventory there is of mobile home parks versus storage. And he said he thinks there's more mom and pop storage in Florida than there is mobile home parks in the entire country. And I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting.
Intriguing
Yeah.
statement.
I can't back that up. Don't know if it's true or not, but interesting.
Yeah, that's what he said. But that was cool. And he picked up the tab. There's probably like 10, 12 people there, hung out for a couple hours.
Those storage guys have money, bro.
Dude, this guy is loaded. He does
storage
like
is a very good. It's a very good complementary asset to mobile home parks. You know, there's a lot of them. Like you know, I'm even thinking about putting some storage on mine, some of the portable ones that you don't need permits necessarily because of the size, more like sheds kind of, and they pop them up on site. But it's a very good complementary asset. I know some guys that I was listening to that are building development and their new development parks, and they're putting in storage for each one. Like each lot gets their own little storage box, lock and key, so that way you keep your park clean. It's a very good complementary asset. We have a problem at one of our one park, with like storage of stuff outside. So like I've really been thinking, how can I fit some storage stuff in and then really control what my park looks like. I think storage is great. You know, I love mobile home parks. I don't know if I want to get into storage. You know, maybe one day it's a good complementary. You know what I would love? Parking lots. I would love parking lots and parking garages. I don't know how to buy those yet, but I find that very interesting. But I'm doing the RV thing in the mobile home park right now, so that's kind of my thing. So
I love it.
I'm intrigued about that RV thing in the new park if you fully get there.
Yeah, I'm looking at another one. I made an offer, if you saw my post on another one today, that has a spare 15 acres in the back. And my idea is right off of 75 on the way. John, you would take this road on the way up to North Carolina. You go up 75 through Atlanta to get up to the mountains of North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Like you go straight up.
Campground?
I was thinking an RV stop off, something like people who are traversing up to North Carolina from Florida. That's your route. And like, boom, you just pop off for the nightly rate. It's literally right off the highway. It's the exit where you would get off to get food. If you needed gas, shit like that. It's a small town, but, things like that, man. Like I see a huge, and I don't think you could buy wrong as long as you make your assumptions correct. As long as you're not forcing a deal, I think even in this market, like if you protect you're very conservative, you'll be good. One thing before we go, I wanted to bring up, and I bring this up not so much for the audience, but I've been meaning to tell Carlos about this because I know Carlos vibes with some of the stuff I do. Now, my wife has made fun of me in my recent last month or so of all these new things I'm trying, but one, mouth taping.
I did that for a while. I need to get back into it. I fully believe in mouth taping.
Okay. She bought me, because at first I was taping my mouth Gorilla Tape. Yeah. And so I was like, every night I'm cutting Gorilla Tape, taping my mouth. And she's like, you're poisoning yourself. Like, you don't want to use that tape. Like, what are you doing? So after like a month of doing that, she bought me, it's called Hostage Tape.
Yeah.
Great product. And so I've been using that. I tell you what, dude, like, I'm sleeping better. Like I don't wake up in the middle of the night dying of thirst anymore. Like, therefore I'm not waking up going to the bathroom as much because I don't know. So mouth taping.
I think the guy who does hostage tape, I saw an interview with him, and he also he puts this thing on his jaw, like it's just a jaw strap, because his jaw will just naturally, and even though he was mouth taping, like it would mess with his muscles because his mouth is trying to hang open. That I have a similar problem, but yeah, no, I mouth taped. I don't know why. I didn't stop for any particular reason. I think I just got out of the habit. But I mouth taped for probably 2-3 months and fully believe in it. And I'm going on as we've gotten back. Now. I just got a bed here. Woohoo! Finally got a bed 2 days ago. Love it. I'm like, it's time to get back into mouth taping. And I want my wife to do it because she snores a little bit. I'm like, I've got mouth tape.
My wife said I stopped snoring The other thing is I kind of want my son to do it because he mouth breathes at night. And like,
Yes, isn't it crazy? Kids that mouth breathe. I walk into my kids and I watch them mouth breathe. I'm like, it's freaking bad. Stop it.
The development of your jawline from mouth breathing is different. Like you don't have a very pronounced jawline or chiseled jaw look as a man is what you're trying to get, and it's kind of like a shorter jawline that kind of goes up because you're breathing through your mouth and you're not supposed to. So anyway,
James Nestor. Have you read that book?
No, I haven't.
You haven't read that book?
Which one's is that? Oxygen Advantage or the other one?
It's a breathing book. So I love James Nestor because his first book was a freediving book which got me into freediving. But his book after the freediving was called Breath, and it was more popular than freediving, and it talks exactly what you're talking about, Papa P, and he talks about like Native American tribes that built these boards for kids, and the kids would sleep on the board and it would close their mouth so they wouldn't mouth breathe, so that they would grow their jaws the right way. And it's totally true. And he talks through experiments where like for, I think it was 14 days, 7 days, he plugged his nose and only mouth breath for like 7 days straight, and then did medical tests to see how his body got fucked up. Yeah, it was crazy what happened to him. And he said, as soon as I took the stuff out of my nose, like it took me 2 days to get back to normal. But once I started taping and just nose breathing, like all of the problems that came up in 7 days immediately went away. It's nuts.
So as I went down that rabbit hole, right, I started getting some Joe Rogan stuff about the jaw size thing too. You know, like
I heard of that.
Okay, it's stupid. They could cause a lot of issues the way they make these things and the way you do it. So anyway, I was very intrigued on like facial formations, and I sit here all day at my desk and like, you know, I have kind of ADD, and I used to chew gum a lot, right? And I've stopped and, you know, we don't eat a lot anyway. We don't eat a lot. We're really working our jaw out. So then I got into mastic gum. So mastic gum isn't gum. So it is, and I was chewing it a little bit ago, right? They call it tears. It's from a tree in Greece, and I don't even want to say the name of the island because I'll fuck it up. But there's an island in Greece where there's a tree. So anyway, you buy it and you get this little pack, right? You got this little pack off Amazon, and I made sure there was nothing added to it. It wasn't an Americanized version where they add shit. But it's a gum. It's not a gum that's sweet. You don't chew it for flavor. You're not freshening your breath. But the acids help your digestive system, but they also help the bacteria in your mouth. But it makes you work your jaw out because it's a tacky substance from a tree. So it's not a lot. There's no flavor. You're not going to have a bad taste in your mouth. Like after, you know, when you chew juicy fruit and then at the end, it's like you can't even keep it in your mouth anymore. This little piece, these little tears, bro, like I've been doing it for a couple days now. Like, dude, it's
interesting.
It's pretty cool. It really works your jawline out. Go ahead.
No, you really need to read that book because he also talks about like because of the food that we eat now, we don't chew as much, and it actually affects brain development and facial development of like, and it gives people all these sleep apnea problems, all of the problems that people are having with sleep because they are like eating yogurt and Jello and soft food, and they're not chewing anymore.
And so I knew that especially lately, especially since I met my wife, because she doesn't eat meat and I did and don't anymore. And I started reading all this and I'm like, and I looked at photos of myself when I was in my 20s and then like recent photos, and I looked at my face and I was like, man, I wonder if all this, and then the mouth breathing, I noticed at night I was breathing because I was trying to figure out why I was drinking so much and my mouth was dry when I was younger. Never had that problem. So something obviously changed. And so it went down this rabbit hole, but
I'll have to try those. That's intriguing to me as well.
And this is called CHIOS. That's the island. Chios. Mastia. MASTIHA. Tears. It was like $9 off Amazon for this little pack, and it doesn't look like much, but I've been chewing this one piece for 2 days because, again, it's not about flavor. It's not about like anything. It's just you're just chewing this piece of this tree.
Yeah.
And what?
Interesting. Is it Wim Hof that says the mouth is for eating and the nose is for breathing? Or it's a guy like Wim Hof?
Everything you guys are saying is stuff that I read on Google, but I have no idea where it came from. So I don't know if it's from either of those. It's just I was, when you go down a rabbit hole, you're going article, hyperlink, hyperlink.
I could go back and see it. I think I got the Breathe book. I didn't read it. Oxygen,
it's one of my favorite
advantage. But I read the Oxygen Advantage where I got like the minimum effective dose. The Oxygen Advantage, I went down that rabbit hole in like 2018, 2019. That's what made me tape my mouth shut I probably did that for like 6 months straight. I got like the specific. You can get specific tape off Amazon, but now I just do the clear tape. I've done it a few times since I've been here, but I know innately my subconscious is trained to just breathe through my nose. Like if I find myself just randomly in meetings or doing anything in life, and I'm just breathing through my nose. But that didn't happen until I spent a third of my day pretty much automating my behavior to breathe through my nose by doing that. And the easiest way to do that is the taping at night. I did that in like 2018, 2019. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know you did that.
And then you would because you're such a big cardio guy, Oxygen Advantage is good for all the studies they talk about of nose breathing while doing cardio, which I
breathe in. I have to focus, breathe in. I do like 3 breaths in, 2 breaths out, in through my nose, out through my mouth. I mean, that's no problem. I could control that. But at night, and then again, just during the day, man, like you're sitting at your desk, especially John, like you're just on the computer, and it's like a fidget spinner for your mouth.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I will get some of that. Going back to the running, so after I read breath and I was running, I don't have a problem mouth breathing except at night, and then when doing physical activity. For some reason, I always I don't know if somebody said something when I was a kid, but whenever I do physical activity, I'm like, I gotta breathe through my mouth to get enough oxygen. So that's what I did. So I was like, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna breathe through my freaking nose while I'm running. And it was crazy because I was tracking my runs and my heart rate, right? So when I was mouth breathing while running, my heart rate would be all over the freaking place. And then when I would do a run, like a 3-mile run while nose breathing, my heart rate would just not super steady, but it would get more regular because the nose breathing was actually doing what it's supposed to do. And you're able to get more oxygen in through the nose than you are through the mouth. And I was like, holy crap, this is amazing. I can literally see how this changes, and I could see how it felt different. When you start, if you've always mouth breathed while exercising and you try to start nose breathing, it feels weird. And you're like, I'm going to die.
Difference with the way you breathe and using your stomach. Yeah. I don't know, man. So I've changed these little things up, and I've been meaning to bring it up to you guys in every episode, and I just forget. But today I had my gum in front of me, and I was like, I'm going to bring this up.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna be going for my.
So legit.
So buy Amazon for the gum. Just make sure you read, and you want it from Greece, from the island directly. You don't want some company that a middleman that does anything to it.
Here, send me the link that you bought, so I don't have to do the research.
No, I got you, bro. I'll find it. And then what did I just say? The hostage tape. My phone killed my dog. The hostage tape is directly off their website that I got linked through Instagram, and then my wife scooped it for me because she didn't want me to poison myself using Gorilla Tape on my mouth every night.
Yeah,
I was fine. Listen, I was fine. I went into my garage, grabbed the easiest roll of tape that I thought would hold over my beard, and I was like, let's do this, bro. I'll send you the link. I got it right here.
Yeah, I'm going for my PADI 1 probably before the end of the year, which is the free diving step 1 certification.
Oh, okay. All right, I got you.
There's a lot of breathing involved in that.
You got a free dive to get to those fucking turtles, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
John will be out there making Instagram videos. John's going to be on AI trying to make videos and pictures of swimming with turtles underwater.
Or massive creatures.
It'll be like a picture of John looking like fucking Aquaman.
So there's a real last comment because I have to go. But there's this, we learned, so I always do freshwater turtle research, and we went and spent some time with a sea turtle researcher. And then she's like, yeah, one of the ways that they capture some sea turtles, because usually you have to wait for them to come up on the land, or the only other ways to get them in the water, is they're out in, I think she said 90 meters of water, and they see a sea turtle and on a boat, and they drive with it on the boat, and they're watching it, and then somebody jumps in, swims down, like free diving capabilities, deeper than you would have to for scuba diving.
grabs onto it,
Grabs the turtle, and then like yanks it up with yanks it a certain way, which makes it start swimming up, and then the diver starts swimming up, and then they both get to the surface, and they're holding. And I don't know if you sea turtles are fucking massive and heavy as shit. And I'm like, holy crap, these people are crazy. They're just like it's like harpooning whales, but they're like seeing a sea turtle, and somebody just
that's Aquaman status. Like
I know
Yeah,
that's exactly what it's like.
Like stood on it while grabbing its tail, and you were kind of like rodeoing this thing.
Yeah, I was like, that is crazy. That's a way to catch a turtle. I don't do anything quite like that.
All right, guys. That was good.
All right. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you here. Please subscribe. 250. That's our goal. 250 on YouTube. Let's do this. Peace.